Well, it stopped working again. It was like making all kinds of smoke or something last night. I'm not even sure. We're gonna try it again. What I found before worked in the past is you would disconnect the fuel pump over here and run it without, because it overfuels it when it's gummed up inside, and it basically will try and start but can't start because it's too much fuel. Like, you need to make a way to control the fuel pressure to these. On startup, you can't control the fuel pressure. It's whatever default value. Let me turn the flash off. So it may catch because I've run it a bunch without any fuel, and maybe it'll have a chance to like burn up all the BS in there. But it's probably the screen around the glow plug, and it's not easy to get to that thing, because if they would have put it up top where that white part comes off, I could get to it easily, but you actually have to unmount the entire thing and remove it, and then you can get the black part off the bottom and access the glow plug. And if you're that far in, at that point you need to just open the whole thing up, because it's probably going to be clogged full of junk inside. But usually when you start it, as soon as it starts to even click at all, it'll go, you'll hear it fire off. It's basically, forced air blowing against a diesel catalyst. And that's what makes the heat inside there. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's not really a jet engine. Oh, there it goes. You hear that noise? So, when it does that, and it does it in time, the thing has a certain set cycle that it runs. And if it doesn't see the temperature reach a certain point, it actually cuts off and then tries to restart. It's a really primitive system, and you don't have much control over it. So I think another thing too is having it turned down too low can maybe cause it to burn like crap. So, but on high it goes through a lot of fuel. So I guess I'm just gonna have to find a good middle ground. See how it stopped? And it's probably not going to start now because the stupid thing just cut fuel to it. Because it's looking for this temperature, but I can hear that noise. I know the fucker's burning. So which means is I got to fiddle with this like 5 times to get it to start. And that's going to entail... Yeah, see, it flashes on. It doesn't like the temperature that it's at, but I guarantee if I put my hand on the bottom, it's probably pretty hot. So there goes the damn fucking thing. And it's going to try and restart itself like an idiot. And then it's not going to work. So basically, at this point, you got to cut the fuel off of it, start it with no fuel. See, the temperature jumped up, but it killed it. It's stupid. You don't have enough control of it. It just runs on a set program, and it fails to start because it's not thinking it's getting hot enough. And if it would have just let it run longer, it would have been fine. Now, I've had this thing apart 2 different times now. And once when I first got it, and last week, and now it's bad again. And I'm really kind of tired of dealing with it at this point. But there's really not anything else that puts out this kind of heat without polluting and, making you breathe a bunch of bullshit. Like, indoor heating with a propane catalyst heater is okay, technically, but I don't think it's great. So, anyway. See, now it starts again. So, if it fires off, and it might, if it fires off this time, and it reaches the temperature that it wants to see, then we'll be good. But it usually doesn't. You'll hear that noise, and that noise is actually the sound of the combustion. I think basically what it does is it attempts to start 2 different times. The problem is that it's pausing in between is what kills it. It was already on, but it paused and went to go recycle, and that stopped it. Oh, I hear it trying again. I really do think being able to control the fuel pressure on startup would make a big deal. You keep it from flooding itself out, you know? I've already got warm air blowing out of it. Let's just hope it hurries up. We got snow outside. It's kind of cold out. It's going to be nasty tonight. Now, this quit running on me, and I thought it ran out of fuel last night, but it didn't. It just, like, started smoking and shit, I guess. Temperature was probably 29 degrees outside. It doesn't sound like it's really going well enough. I might be able to actually bump it up, even though it's not fully started. And now it's getting into the yellow. So it is decided, I think, that it's running. But the sound of the blower is a little quieter than normal. Let me turn it down. I can smell the fucking thing. We'll just keep it at a happy medium. It ramps up on its own. So I don't think actually, until it does like some kind of thing, I don't think you can actually really control the pressure. And it still might shut down on me, because I think it should have been hotter by now. And I can smell a little bit of the smoke, which might be backfiring out of the intake. So there's probably something wrong with it. I mean, these things really could be a real pain in the ass. You imagine having one of these mounted in your vehicle and having to remove it and mess with it all the time. It's not getting up to temperature. It should be higher than that by now. See what it's going to do now? It's possibly going to stop. Okay, it's still clicking. So the fuel pump's still going. Hopefully it doesn't turn it off. If I go outside, I probably will see it's probably blowing some nasty smoke. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Not running right. This thing needs to stick out through here further. It was before. I mean, it had the muffler on it before. It looks like the pipe got damaged. Yeah. There we go. And then now I can take that and put that on there. Look at that. That was from when it was running bad before. And that stuff is not going to come off easy. It's fucking diesel soot. So it's like really struggling to run. It's blowing like piss warm air out. So if we need to turn it up or down. More fuel doesn't necessarily mean it's going to burn faster. Might make it worse. I hear the noise, like changing on the combustion. I wish I could just hold the button down. Let's turn it way down just to see what it does. Ooh. It stopped. God damn fucking thing. And the reason I know it stopped is because I can see the temperature dropped. I don't think it's burning. You can't even hear the combustion part anymore. You would hear it. So I think what effectively happened is I turned it up, and it may have caused it to put itself out. Although I hear the noise of the combustion now. But if the temperature doesn't go up, it's not burning correctly. I'd been half tempted to put something else in this and mix it with it to kind of try and clean it out. I think what's happening is they're selling this really crappy diesel, because I noticed I've been having trouble with my truck too. Well, the pipe down there is hot, so I don't know what's going on. And there's your E8 code, shut itself down. Temperature dropped.